What is up, everybody? I am the Vols Network, and this is James the Sports Guy, and we are bringing you a recap of the SEC tournament and a look into tomorrow's SEC championship game against Florida.
Tennessee today got a really big dub against Auburn. A really huge win for Tennessee. They came into Auburn Arena about a month and a half ago or something like that, and lost 53-51. So Tennessee getting their revenge on Auburn to move on to the SEC championship game is really huge for the Volunteers, as Chaz Lanier had a great game today. How many points did he have on the day?
Let me get that checked out, and in the meantime, how about Florida?
Florida looks really well. They ran Alabama out of the gym in the second half, and Alabama was really confident after getting what was a really good win against Kentucky. Even though Kentucky's injured, Kentucky still has played well all year, but Alabama getting that win was really confident today. But I mean, Tennessee and Florida is going to be a really good game tomorrow. We'll see what happens between them. The thing that I liked about Florida today was how their guard play showed up. They outplayed Mark Sears and Phylon, so they looks pretty good. But yeah, for the Volunteers, Ziegler had 20 points on the day. Chaz Lanier carried the load early on. He had 12 points. Gainey had 15 off the
I
bench.
think people were really overlooking Jordan Gainey in that game because of Zakai Ziegler having 20.
Yeah, Jordan Gainey off the bench, he's really well today. I assume Milicic had limited minutes because of foul trouble.
Yeah, he had 3 fouls in, the
Okay,
beginning of the second half. A little bit of
okay,
foul
yeah,
trouble there.
that's what I thought, because he only played 16 minutes on the game, so that's kind of why Gainey got some more minutes, as well as
And
Phillips
then
had to play with him as well.
I thought Cade Phillips was really well today. He did a great job against Chennai Broom. So did Akpara. I thought they did a really good job. And then I'm not an Auburn fan, but Miles Kelly did have a good game. He just was in foul trouble for most of the game and was unable to be on the court.
Yeah, I'll say that about the Tennessee the Tennessee backcourt. They held the Auburn guards, Miles Kelly, Denver Jones, and Chad Baker Mazard only 32 points on the day, which is really good. I thought Tennessee played really well defensively. Offensively, they didn't really take a lot of 3-pointers this game. They took 19. So I don't really know what to say about that, but Tennessee, they got the dub today. So
A lot of
looking,
people are going to say that the refs weren't great, but I think Tennessee did a really good job of creating contact and
no,
controlling this.
listen, personally today, I think I think the refs were a little bit well, no, they've been terrible all tournament. So,
They
but
really have.
they really have. They've been terrible all season. But yeah, the SEC, the refs have been terrible all season, but it didn't really impact the game. Tennessee only shot 5 more free throws than Auburn. But Auburn really lost this game because they shot 13 of 22 from the free throw line. I mean, you got to make those foul shots because
And
if they went 100%, they would have won this game.
and that's the thing. Tennessee was fouling, but they were fouling the big men who were shooting 60 and 65% from the line.
Yeah, Janai Broom, he went 5 of 12 from the free throw line today. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, he doesn't really shoot a good percentage. He shoots 62% on the year. So really good job for Tennessee looking into that and fouling Broom more than the other guys, I guess. Because, I mean, fouling Broom isn't really a bad idea. I mean, fouling a guy who shoots 60% isn't really a bad idea either way. So.
Now, moving away from all the semifinal and championship chaos, what about Texas?
Texas, right now, they are on the bubble for the SEC. I'm pretty sure they are either the second or the first team out. What I want to say about Texas, Texas has had to fight all year in the SEC. They went 6-12 in the SEC, and they won 2 tournament games against a Vandy team who has been pretty solid all year in the SEC, and they beat a really good Texas A&M team. Meanwhile, while you have North Carolina 2-11 in quad one games. You got to win quad one games to get in the tournament, and they have not done that. So I believe you have to reward Texas for winning the tougher games, even though they have lost 15 games on the season. I haven't looked at the bubble. I would have to look at it right now. So we can get back on this topic in a second. But what I will say, the SEC should have 14 teams in tomorrow. I believe they really should.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the SEC was the best it's been this year. I think this is the best the SEC has been all year. And I do have this pulled up, projected bracket. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
All right. Yeah, here, let's take a look at the bubble. So no, Texas is actually the third team out right now. They're somehow behind North Carolina, and yeah, there we go. They are behind North Carolina and Indiana. Texas, I think, has better resumes than both of them. They should be up. Now here's what I will say. The argument between Boise State and Texas is a pretty good argument, but listen, power conferences are more important than the Mountain West. So I think that has to go into a factor. And
I
also, I still don't know why Xavier's even in.
Yeah,
Xavier's not played well at all this season. I mean, they've won a ton of games, but they've had some long stretches throughout the Big East season where they've looked pretty bad in a mediocre Big East conference. So
and there's one thing I do want to look at here. Nothing taken away from Utah State, but I feel like Vanderbilt should be right here just because of the conference level.
yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, I'll say that too. If I can look really quickly, I'm pretty sure Utah State lost in the Final Four of the Mountain West tournament. Um, I don't know who Utah State really played in non-conference play. They did. Oh, they did play Iowa, so that's a pretty solid win. But Utah, I don't think Utah State is really all that. Um,
And I'll come back to that topic in a second. But one thing I want to look at here is Boise State lost the Mountain West Championship today. So you really have to watch these three teams right here: Indiana, North Carolina, and Texas. This is the big one. Texas is the big one right here.
yeah. As the SEC is looking, I mean, they are going to break the record for the most conference teams in a tournament because this is arguably the best college basketball conference we have seen this basketball season. But yeah, Texas really trying to get in. I personally believe they should be in over Carolina and Indiana. And honestly, I still don't know why we're giving validation to Xavier. I don't think Xavier is even that good. I've watched him a little bit this year. They haven't looked really good in Big East play, as I've said. If I go to their quad records, real quick, they're 1-9 in quad one games, and their only win is over Marquette. They've lost to Michigan. They lost to a really mediocre Cincinnati team. And all the other losses are pretty unacceptable. Villanova, they should have beaten them. Yeah, honestly, and they have two losses too. They lost to Georgetown and TCU.
Which I'm not throwing any hate towards the Big East, but the Big East was not a good conference this season.
No, it really wasn't. All you really had was St. John's and Creighton. Those were the two
And
only good teams. And Creighton almost lost to DePaul. Don't forget about that. They almost lost to DePaul in the what? Was it the semifinals or was it the
yeah,
quarter?
because Creighton is in the championship now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there with Creighton. I did pick Creighton to win the Big East, by the
And
way.
now this next four out, not that I'm not sure it really matters at this point, but North Texas just lost to UAB, so
They're out.
that'll
They're
shake up a
yeah,
little
they're
bit.
wait. North Texas is going to be out. I think the only team from there that even has a shot at getting in is Ohio State. But Ohio State losing in the first round of the Big Ten tournament really puts a blow on their tournament chances, as they will probably not get in.
I th-
Honestly, I think right now you're looking at the last four in and the first four out, seeing which teams can swap up throughout that.
yes, and then the last four buys right here. I don't know how this will affect, but West Virginia losing to Colorado in the second round of the Big 12 tournament, that may affect where they are in this last four buys and last four in.
Yeah, here's I think the tournament committee will put Vandy and Utah State above West Virginia. I think West Virginia will have to play the playing game because losing to Colorado, that's really bad. If I can check this really quickly, I think it's a quad 4 loss. I'm not sure. We can search up their quad records real quick. Um no, it is a quad. Is somehow a quad 2 loss. They are Colorado's 86th in the net rankings. But still, they lost to the worst team in the Big 12 in the second round. After TCU lost to them too. So I think by the time selection day comes, I think West Virginia will be in that plan in the last four in. And I think Vandy will have that bye in the first round to whoever they play.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. And if I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen here real quick to see if I can get like a SEC bracket pulled up here to show um what is going on so far and like who you believe has a fair chance of making it.
Yeah. Honestly, from some of the results, because a lot of these results mattered. As we'll talk about it in a second.
See
But
if I
really
can.
quickly here, Houston and Arizona, 42.5 seconds. Houston trying to win their first Big 12 title as this is their second season in the conference. Arizona loses it, and it is a double dribble, 31.3 seconds. And Arizona has to foul immediately once Houston inbounds this basketball.
All right,
But
so
yeah,
I couldn't find one, but I do have an idea of what games happen. And
um,
speaking
uh,
of that, Arkansas, we saw they were one of the first four buys. They had a tough time with South Carolina.
um, listen, I think one of those I think that's honestly because for one, they haven't had Boogie Flynn ever since February,
That's
and
true.
also them not having a Duthiero is also a huge loss as well as a Duthiero. Has really made the jump. I don't think a lot of teams have really talked about it. In my opinion, I think a Duthiero should have won Newcomer of the Year because a Duthiero. Well, no, never mind. Well, he was already in the SEC, so never mind. But a Duthiero, he had a huge leap from Kentucky to Arkansas, and he has become an absolute athlete. And Arkansas not having him was a big deal. I think if Adu Thiero was there, I think Arkansas would have won by 15. Um, but yeah, I think that's what would have happened to Arkansas.
Yeah.
As for the other games, Mississippi State kind of clinched their tournament spot, beating LSU. Vandy keeps on dropping ever since the Texas loss, which I understand. Vandy hasn't played since Wednesday, so we'll see how that shapes out. And then Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure Oklahoma was in the first four out or the last four in. Them beating Georgia was a chance for them to lock themselves in the tournament, and they almost beat Kentucky too. So
I'm
pretty good
gonna
job by
share my
Oklahoma.
screen one more time here. And okay, so I want you to look at this, and then okay, so we're gonna look at Texas, we're gonna look at North Carolina, we're gonna take a look at Indiana's schedule here, and we're gonna see how different the schedules are. Then you let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at Indiana's. I'm gonna take a look at. Well, no, I can just go through the quad records actually. So Indiana quad records. Um, yeah. Here's the thing. And I'll give it to Indiana. They have played. They played really well in Big Ten play. They did everything they could. They are 4-13 in quad one games, and they are undefeated in the rest. That does shape up a little bit. And then we take a look at
Here,
North
I'm
Carolina.
gonna look at I'm gonna show you Texas right here. I think what really is gonna hurt them is this loss up top. This Ohio State loss to start the
The
season.
Yeah, I think the Ohio State loss. I think that the early Ohio State loss, the first game, that's what's really going to cost them there, and then the fact that they also lost to South Carolina.
Yeah, that is
The
a
South Carolina quad two loss is probably what could keep them out of the tournament. But we take a look. Um, we'll go back to Texas in a minute.
yeah. Let's see if we can
Um, we'll
get
we'll
North
take a look at.
Carolina.
I have North Carolina pulled up here. They are 1-12 in quad one games. Their only quad one win is against UCLA. I believe their quad one win against they had another quad one win. I think one of their quad one wins against Wake Forest moved down. I believe. I'm not sure about
What?
that. And then
Yeah. One thing I will say is those two bad losses. Those really get overshadowed if you kind of look at the ranked teams that they beat. I mean, you have Missouri, you
hang on,
have
I'll be
Texas
back.
A&M twice, but I don't know. That's just a really bad loss to South Carolina.
Sorry. What were you saying?
I was saying like those two bad losses could
well,
be overshadowed by the fact that they beat Texas A&M twice, they've beaten Missouri, and they've beat Kentucky.
yeah. Yeah, they beat Kentucky, even though. Well, listen, I'm biased as a Kentucky fan, but Kentucky's been injured all year. But yeah, Texas. Um, I will say, the losses to Ohio State and South Carolina are really bad. Plus Texas should have won more games in that quad two record because they lost to UConn and they
Yeah, I was
lost to
gonna
South
point that
Carolina.
out. This right here is not good.
The quad two, yeah, that's what I think does keep Texas out of the tournament, but I still believe Texas should be in because of those 7 quad one wins. I think the quad one wins should matter a lot more for tournament resumes because Indiana only has 4, North Carolina only has 1. I I've said it all year. I still don't understand how North Carolina is even inching towards making the tournament. I believe if we go back to the bubble, can you pull up the bubble again really quickly?
Yep, I got you. I'll pull up the bubble right
All
here.
right, yeah, yeah, we'll take a look at the bubble again, but I will literally name out some of the teams that I believe North Carolina is worse than. For one, I think they're worse than Ohio State. I also think Dayton is better than them, as well as UC Irvine. So I just don't understand. I think if North Carolina gets in tomorrow, I think that a ton of college basketball fans
Are
and
gonna be upset.
and a ton of fans from the other fan bases are going to be really upset
There,
because North Carolina should not be in the tournament. They should
yeah, but moving away from North Carolina and why they shouldn't be in, obviously they shouldn't. I just wanted to point out right here, this right here,
Vandy.
Vanderbilt, right here.
Yeah, Vandy has fallen off since of Wednesday. With them losing Wednesday, it allows other teams to go out and win and get more. I mean, once again, get more wins and just keep moving on. Um, you know,
If I can find, I want to see if we can find an 8 seed that, or an 8 or a 9 that could possibly be worse than Vandy. See, right here. I mean, Georgia is good. They're better
listen,
than Vandy. But
listen.
this right here.
Yeah, I don't understand why New Mexico is so far up. Let me take a look at their quad records really quickly. I don't think New Mexico really has that many quad one wins either.
If I'm not even being SEC biased, this should definitely be Vandy. This 9 seed.
Yeah. Here, listen. New Mexico, they are 3-4 in quad one games. I will say the win over UCLA is really good for New Mexico, and that's kind of the reason why they're up there a little bit. But I do believe that New Mexico should be on the bubble. As well as they're 8-1 in quad two games, lost to Arizona State, and then they're they're 4-2 in quad 3 games. They lost to New Mexico State and San Jose State. I don't understand how New Mexico's in right now. I get they only have 7 losses on the season, but once again, the SEC this year has been so good, and there is a reason why we will see 13, maybe 14 teams in tomorrow on Selection Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, not even SEC bias, but I'm gonna say it again. No reason that New Mexico should be over Vandy or
Yeah.
even Oklahoma or Arkansas.
Yeah, I think Vandy has a better resume than Arkansas. I mean, the lot once again, the reason why Arkansas and Texas, the reason why both of them are down so low right now is because of those South Carolina losses. Which once again, South Carolina, if they weren't playing in the SEC, like if they were playing in the ACC, I think they would be a borderline tournament team. I'm being so serious. If
The
they played,
SEC is just that loaded. I mean,
yeah, I think South Carolina's gotten really unlucky this year. The only I think South Carolina's better than LSU, but South Carolina struggled heavily throughout the beginning of the SEC play, so that's why LSU was slightly better in the seeding wise.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
yeah, and then if you look at South Carolina's resume, they played almost all of their ranked teams close.
yeah, I did see that they had a couple close games against Florida and A&M
And
and
Auburn, that's a big one.
And Auburn too. Yeah, I forgot they had a close one against Auburn. Yeah, listen here. They are 1-16 in quad one games. They had to play 17 quad one games, and they beat
I mean,
Clemson. And Clemson's the top 10 team in the country right now,
uh,
according to the AP. According to the AP.
yeah, James, I know you're a Kentucky fan. I just wanted to show you this real quick.
Yeah, that's. I'm not. Yeah, I'll say this. I'll go ahead and give my little Kentucky right here. Even though we are banged up, we should beat Troy. But if we play Illinois, um, well, no, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. If this was actually the tournament, Kentucky could make the Sweet 16. But honestly, if we play Drake, I think we will lose to them. But honestly, if Illinois wins, I think we could beat them because
Wait a minute.
Illinois is not that good. I'm telling you, Illinois is not good.
I'm not even joking. This is a very fair path for Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a fair path. I will say though, Bryant might be that 15 seed I have to pick, but it won't be again. I wouldn't pick them against Tennessee.
I'm
If
gonna
they
go ahead. Wait, finish.
if they were playing, wait, scroll down. I want to see who else is on the 2 line.
If they were playing someone like,
Let's scroll
no,
scroll down.
I don't know about Michigan State. That
Yeah,
could be an upset. That right there.
Wofford. Okay, no, Wofford is below 500. My guy.
That's true. I forgot.
Yeah. Honestly, if they played St. John's, it'd be a close game.
I'm gonna
Be a
give
really
some of my teams that I feel like could make a run. Obviously, this is my go-to run right here.
High Point making the Sweet 16.
I also liking what I see right here.
Yeah, Drake. If Drake beats Illinois, I think they can beat Kentucky, especially since Kentucky is so banged up. It really sucks for Kentucky this year because before Lamont Butler hurt his ankle and then Kirk Kriisa fracturing his foot and then all the other injuries that happened to Andrew Carr's back spasms, Kentucky was a top 5 team in the country. A top 5. They were number 4. I believe they were number 4 before they played Ohio State, and some more injuries occurred. Kentucky, they beat Duke in their 3rd game. They beat Cooper Flag and all of them in their 3rd game of the season. They were fully healthy. They were 7-0, and then Lamont Butler had his ankle injury against Clemson, and everything just kind of fell down from there. But Kentucky, you know how they will be. They have a nice recruiting class come in. Eagle staff, you know that North Dakota kid who scored like 40 on Alabama?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to go to Kentucky. So
Okay.
Imagine him and Jasper Johnson and Ortega Owe.
That
But
would
yeah,
be.
we'll move on now
I'm
after.
gonna show you a couple more possible upset. Look who's back. I just wanted to point that out.
Yale's back. I could see them beating Arizona.
This is a very up. This is a winnable game for VCU.
If VCU draws Ole Miss or Illinois, I'm picking them. I generally think VCU wins.
This could
Liberty,
be a winnable game for Liberty as well.
I think Liberty didn't. I swear Liberty played Oregon in one of these past tournaments, but yeah, I think Liberty could win.
This looks
Clemson,
like a good game.
Memphis, Georgia. Yeah, that'll be a pretty good game. I think Georgia definitely wins that though. Memphis is not good. Texas A&M versus Lipscomb. I'm picking A&M. The thing is, wait, why is Lipscomb on there twice?
Where are they at again?
Look on the other side.
Bro, what is Lipscomb doing over here now?
Well, okay, that
They
all
can
right.
beat Purdue. They can beat Purdue.
Yeah, they could beat Purdue. Okay, hang on. Let me just freaking let me go to the bracket thing really quickly. Or actually no, I'll just take a picture from my phone onto the computer. We're gonna send this out to the Discord really quickly.
Lipscomb has to play twice. It's rigged. It's rigged.
Yeah, it's rigged. Hang on.
Yeah, guys, watch out for SIU Edwardsville to absolutely decimate Houston. This is an interesting matchup right here. This is very interesting.
Oh, St. Mary's in Arkansas. I'm picking low key. If Adu Thiero's back, I might take Arkansas. If Adu Thiero's back. But
You
see,
think we're
like
gonna?
injuries are gonna impact so many picks. Honestly,
Yeah.
it really will.
Who's your Cinderella team?
Huh? Who?
Who's your
Sorry.
Cinderella team?
Cinderella team. Honestly, I'm gonna name a few. Vandy, High Point, VCU, Drake. Scroll down a little bit more. I need more options. Um, Oklahoma.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think. As of like Cinderella teams. Georgia. And last but not least, I'm gonna go New Mexico.
That yeah.
Those could be
That's a good team.
Cinderella teams. Those could be Cinderella teams.
I want to get your opinion on this because is this a winnable game for Colorado State?
Oh, if Clemson's, I don't think Clemson has had injury problems. Listen, I think Clemson's a lot better than people think. I think Clemson wins. I have a lot of faith in Clemson. I really do. Even though their resume isn't good, I have a lot of faith in them to do a little bit of damage in March.
You're doing a stream tomorrow for the bracket reveal, right?
Oh yes, I am. We are doing a stream tomorrow for Selection Sunday.
Yeah, go check out
let me hear.
James the Sports
let me go.
Guy.
Let me go ahead and let me do the advertisement for this real quick.
You
Tomorrow.
can put it in chat.
Yeah, tomorrow we are going to stream. I believe. So what time is Selection Sunday? 6
I think
Eastern.
it's at like 6. I think you're gonna start at like 5:50 or 4:50 Central.
Yeah, I will probably start at 4:50 Central before the NCAA committee comes out and gives us the bracket. We'll talk a little bit before, and then we'll do the reveal, and we'll also do picks as well. We'll do picks after the selection show.
If you guys want to see something like that, I can stream when I'm going through and making my picks in our little league that we're doing on Discord.
Yeah. How many people's in it? I think 9 right now. Someone still hasn't
Change their
and
name.
fix their thing. Someone still hasn't fixed their name yet. But right now we have 10 people right now. We have 10 people, so that's pretty good
I
already.
think I
Huh?
think a lot of people are underestimating whoever wins the SEC championship tomorrow. That could be a 1 seed.
Yeah. I think 10. Well, wait. Have they updated? Is it currently updated to where Tennessee is above Alabama? Because I think they definitely should be.
Okay. Well,
Well,
Alabama.
here I'll have to. Well, no, I'll have to go on Joe Lenardi's Twitter real quick.
Yeah,
I have
you're
the
gonna
numbers
have
pulled
to.
up. Tennessee is still below Alabama.
See, that's just no.
That's BS. No. Here's what I think. I think if I don't think it'll matter. I think if Tennessee wins, they beat Bam. I mean, they already beat Bam in the regular season. I think if Tennessee wins, I think the committee will put Tennessee as a 1 seed.
If you go back and look at Tennessee's schedule, they have beaten everybody in the final that was in the Final Four of the SEC tournament.
Yeah, they beat Auburn. They literally just beat Auburn now. They split with Florida. They lost to them by 30 in Gainesville. Then they beat them by 20 in Knoxville, and they beat Alabama on a buzzer beater. So
And I think what you have to take into consideration that the game in Knoxville, no Zakai Ziegler.
yeah, the game in Knoxville, no Sakai Ziegler, and they cooked. The thing, I still don't listen. No offense, I still don't understand how you lost to injured Kentucky twice. I
I
really
don't know.
don't.
I
I
think
don't.
it's just a thing. It's kind of just
I really think it's a thing. I think it's just a thing of like, oh, we own y'all in basketball because I mean we have won like the past 5 out of 6. So
this right here is gonna change because Boise State is no longer gonna be the last team in.
wait, so Boise State won it.
No, they lost.
Oh, dang it. Well, yeah, I think they'll put Boise State out.
That means if they really, that means that we could have North Carolina jump right here.
If North Carolina jumps, we are going to have problems. Dude, I will literally come out. I will literally go to where the NCAA committee's office is and literally force them to put Texas in over Carolina.
Texas, I need Texas in. Like, just here's their schedule. A very, very close loss to Auburn.
Yeah. Which listen, people gotta understand Texas literally had to play quad one teams. I'm pretty sure there was a stretch where they had to play 6 quad one teams. It's actually
It's
crazy.
probably this stretch right here.
Yeah, literally that stretch of games, dude. Well,
Number
no, I don't know.
13,
Well, no, I
number
don't know.
2, number 1, number
Oh
5.
no, it was that stretch. Yeah, it was. It was that stretch. Yeah, they had to play 6 quad one teams in a
I
row.
just want to wait. Can I? I want to count something here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
6, 7.
8, 9, 10, 11. And counting the SEC tournament, Texas had to play 12 ranked teams.
Yeah, and listen, Kentucky. Listen, I think Kentucky preseason they had to play. Kentucky preseason they had to play 12 ranked teams. They played 1, 2. Let me keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then counting the SEC. Well, no, wait. 11, 12, 13 counting the SEC tournament because we got blown out by Bama. So yeah, we keep rambling on about the SEC. There's a reason why the SEC has been incredible this year.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree. The SEC has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and Houston. Oh yeah, by the way, Houston did win the Big 12
Okay, so
championship.
that's gonna also shake up some things.
So Houston, if Duke loses, Houston will probably have the number 2 overall. Will probably be number 2 overall if Duke loses.
Yeah, I mean, that's really. I'm really intrigued to see what will go on if Duke ends up dropping the ACC championship to Louisville.
Yeah, which I really hope they which I really hope they don't. Y'all know how I am as a Kentucky fan. I hate Louisville. I hope Louisville lose.
It's it's gonna be a dogfight if Duke drops this.
Yeah, Duke drops. There's going to be conversations about, oh, should Duke be, which Duke did beat Louisville earlier in the season, but Louisville was also like really banged up.
You're
So,
telling me this same Wofford team made the NCAA tournament?
yeah, I still can't believe that. They lost to 50 by Duke and they're still in the NCAA tournament. Watch them up. Dude, if they upset a 2 seed, or if there's somehow a 16 seed and upset a 1, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, Duke beat Louisville the first time they played, which Louisville also had like 4 guys out, which they still do. By the way, I'll give props to Louisville though. Louisville had 4 guys out who had all of them had season-ending injuries, and yet I'm pretty sure they're still running a 7 or 8 man rotation, and they're still cooking teams. They're still cooking ACC teams. So I'll give my props to where it's due. Great job by Louisville.
I mean, we've seen this so many times this season. Teams overcoming.
Injuries,
Yeah,
which Kentucky has done that, but they've only done that when they've played Tennessee. Um, no offense, that's literally the only time we've overcame injuries. And I guess against Oklahoma because Lamont Buller went off in the first half, and then Otega Owe game winner again. I swear, Otega Owe becomes prime LeBron James whenever he plays Oklahoma.
I know. It's the only Crimson he does good against.
It is the only Crimson he does good against because he freaking sucks against Alabama. I know that he averaged 5 points per game against Alabama in the 2 time, or well no he played another time. The
Well,
hang on,
Saint,
this was hang on the first time they played, because the first time Alabama and Kentucky played, Kentucky was only missing Kirk Risa. The first time we played Alabama, he had 21, so he's probably averaged around like 11 or 12.
just wanted to give a little alert. St. John's has won the Big East.
So good job to St. John's. Proud of Rick Pitino. We'll see how they do in March.
I
As a
think
2 seed.
I think we're in for. We say this every year. This is said every year. I truly believe this will be the best March Madness yet.
Yeah. As of chalk wise, I think the best tournament was 2022. You had 4 blue bloods in the final 4. As of hang on, listen. Let me think real quick. As of upsets wise, 2013.
Yeah,
2013 or no, not 2013, my bad. 2023 was the best upset tournament ever. You had Princeton beat Missouri and
and
Arizona.
Arizona.
You had Fairleigh Dickinson upset Purdue.
Yeah, exactly.
And oh my gosh, dude. Like, it's been crazy. It's still crazy how Virginia lost to UMBC and then won the national championship a year later.
Exactly.
And then, Purdue almost did the same thing. They lost to Fairleigh Dickinson. They made it all the way to the national championship game. They lost to UConn.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. I truly think we're gonna be in for a good one. Once March rolls around.
We are in for a treat, in my opinion.
I will say though, if the SEC does have 14 teams in, one of them better win the national championship.
Gotta have one, right?
For real, you gotta have one. We haven't had. I don't think the SEC has had a team win a championship since 2012, whenever Anthony Davis and Terrence Jones and all those guys won the national championship. We only had a 7-man rotation that year too, and Anthony Davis almost won a unanimous National Player of the Year. He had 5 of the National Player of the Year awards. He missed one of them. But yeah, see how the SEC does. Anyways, I will be right back.
All right. And yeah, so guys, yeah, I really do think this is going to be one of the best March Madnesses yet. And I'm really and just let me know kind of what you want to see on the channel. Because I'm down to do like any live reactions, post game reactions, free game reactions, and whatnot. I mean, if you want to see me and James more, let us know. We might can create our own channel dedicated to just talking about college sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am back, by the way. Yeah, the thing about this year, this is the first time. Well, no, this would actually be the second time because in 2022 there was like 20 teams who could have won the national championship that year.
I
Like
know
there was
there was
literally
so
in
many that
2022 there was literally 20 there was literally 20 teams who could win the national championship, which a
great time.
majority a majority of them picked Kentucky, and well, we don't want to talk about that.
And then 2020 just got canceled out of nowhere.
Yeah, I still think that would have been one of the greater tournaments too. I think there was 15 teams who could have won the national championship that year. There was a ton of good teams.
Yeah,
I think
I was just telling them while you were gone, if they wanted to see more of us, we could just like create a channel dedicated to talking college sports.
yeah. You've heard about the podcast that me and Elias and Ray are thinking about doing, right?
Yeah, I mean no, but if y'all could I join if
You
possible?
probably yeah. We probably will let you join. We have no idea. We have no idea if we're gonna do it or not.
What's it gonna be
Um,
called if we do it?
I have no idea. Hopefully we get that figured out soon.
You should. Do you need to create a group chat with us four?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Um, y'all have a good night and go Vols!
Go Cats!
No, go Vols!
Go Cats!
And next time I see y'all, hopefully we are SEC champions. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow the Instagram, and then subscribe to James. Peace out.
Da-da-da-da-da.